Oh, beautiful for spacious skies, for amber waves of grain, for purple mountain majesties above the fruited plain. America, America, God shed his grace on thee, and crown thy good with brotherhood from sea to shining sea.
Before the hashtags, one leader was standing up, fighting and sharing her story. When Republicans in Lansing were passing the outrageous rape insurance bill, Gretchen Whitmer shared her survivor story on the Senate floor. When Republicans locked the Capitol doors on working people during the right to work fight, she forced them back open. Before progressive issues were trending, one leader was making Michigan a better place. Call Gretchen Whitmer and thank her for always putting Michigan families first.
I'm Sunil Gupta. I approve this message because I am so different from this guy. My parents started with nothing, and Mom became Ford's first female engineer. I started RISE, worked with Michelle Obama, and got thousands of people quality healthcare. But Trump wants to cut Medicare. Our views on women? Very different. I'm pro-equal pay and pro-choice. I'm Sunil Gupta, and if you want to send a message to Donald Trump, send me to Congress.
Neighbor to neighbor, family to family, Erin Oban works hard and listens to us. Erin's knocked on 5,600 doors.
Make that 5,601.
Erin Oban worked with us to protect our neighborhood schools, worked with both parties to create youth shooting and gun safety programs, and supported the development of all of our energy resources.
To our family in this community, the issues we all face are not partisan or political. They're personal.
State Senator Erin Oban.
In a world where the vice mayor has superpowers to solve all Nashville's problems.
Okay, the vice mayor doesn't need superpowers, but does need to listen. I'm David Briley. From the big projects like the jail, the AMP, and the fairgrounds, I'll make sure everyone's voice is heard.
David Briley. Listening, then leading. David Briley for vice mayor.
So your superpower is listening?
Well, yeah.
Boring.
Monica's a teacher and leaves at 7 a.m., so I drive our kids to school.
Ed Narain.
Sometimes we sing.
Hit the road, Jack. Don't you come back no more, no more.
We talk about serious stuff. These drives remind me that public service is about principles and people, not about politics as usual.
Endorsed by Florida teachers and Kathy Castor.
Democrat Ed Narain for State Senate.
With Washington so dysfunctional, we need problem solvers to bring people together and get results. That's Bonnie Watson-Coleman.
I am 100% pro-choice. I'm 100% committed to improving women's health care. I will work very hard to ensure that women are paid 100% of what a man is paid for doing the same job. This will be great for these women, the next generation, and for all of us. Right, guys?
That's right.
I'm Bonnie Watson-Coleman. I approve this message.
Eddie Smith missed 178 votes in the state legislature the last 2 years. When Eddie Smith did show, Eddie voted to let big banks raise credit card interest rates. And Eddie voted for a property tax hike for disabled vets. Eddie Smith was a no-show for veterans, opposing health care for tens of thousands of our nation's heroes. Eddie Smith, 178 missed votes. What would happen to you if you missed that much work?
No matter what area or zip code our kids are from, they need and deserve the best schools. That's why I'm a champion for our public schools.
Democrat Brenda Gilmore, a record of fighting for our schools and opposing interest groups that want to cut education. strongly endorsed by Tennessee's teachers, Brenda Gilmore.
I'll keep working for our kids because education and opportunity go hand in hand.
A panicked Colorado father learned his daughter was flying to Syria to join ISIS. He called the authorities again and again, but no one took it seriously until Daniel Kagan stepped in. Kagan investigated all night and convinced the FBI to take action. As a result, hours before the girl reached Syria, she was found in Europe and returned home safely. Colorado courage. Just one reason to vote Daniel Kagan for state senate.
I'm Bill McCamley, Democrat for State Auditor. Let's use every tool in our toolbox to knock down Donald Trump's hateful and wasteful wall. Speaking of walls, we invest $24 billion of our money on Wall Street. Let's take some of that money and invest it in education for all of our kids. I'm Bill McCamley. In the Trump era, we need a Democratic auditor who's going to build bridges, not walls.
I came to Memphis over 20 years ago to be treated for a rare and aggressive form of childhood cancer. I beat it. I became interested in science and research because I wanted to help people. I was in the room when my opponent voted to turn down Medicaid expansion. I want to work with elected officials from across the aisle to expand healthcare access because I know firsthand why it matters. I'm a survivor, a scientist, and an advocate. I'm Gabby Salinas, and I'm running for the Tennessee Senate.
In the criminal justice system, we are represented by the police who investigate crimes and district attorneys who prosecute offenders. So, who have the Fraternal Order of Police and District Attorney Tory Johnson endorsed for DA? Career prosecutor Rob McGuire. Rob McGuire won 29 murder convictions in 30 trials. McGuire's opponents haven't prosecuted one violent crime in 15 years. A prosecutor for District Attorney, McGuire. Rob McGuire.
For Betsy DeVos, our schools are a for-profit game of privatization. Andy Levin believes our schools should not be run by Wall Street companies. The Levin's 4 kids attended public schools, and his wife is a teacher. Andy believes in a great public education for every child, affordable college without decades of debt, community college and apprenticeships to offer workers retraining. That's why we need Democrat Andy Levin in Congress. The Principals Project is responsible for the content of this advertising.